I am Wild Bill, and I want to talk today on the 14th of June 2025 about mythologies and about mythical destinations, and especially the concept of the otherworld. The Romans had a god, of course, stolen from the Greeks. The Romans stole everything. They have no creativity of their own, and never have developed any. Everything they have is derivative. They have no original genius. But the Romans had a god called Janus. And Janus was a two-headed god. He was considered the god of crossings, where your path crosses something you don't know. The river, the creek, the other road, the road less traveled, as my parents would say. And it occurs to me, because of my Irish, Scottish heritage, that that is also where your bridge to the other world lies. You have a crossing. A crossing is two things. One is the sum total of what you know, your, as Carlos Castaneda would put it in his wonderful fiction, your tonal. All the things you've been taught, all the expectations you have, all the immutable certainties, or so you believe, of life. And they can be quantified very easily in a crossing. I'm coming from a place I know with great certainty. I'm headed towards a place about which I have specific expectations. Another form of certainty. And I'm crossing a different path, creek, road, something, that leads to uncertainty. This is certainty of one kind. This is certainty of another kind. Where I've been is certainty of one kind. Where I'm going is certainty of another kind. But where I'm not going, the turns I don't take, these are where the mysteries lie. These are the entrances to the other world, the place where creatures that have been driven from or escaped from this world reside. A place where the flow of time is different, where the balance of power is different, where indeed the qualities of the physical universe are quite different. A place of magic, a place of myth, a place of wonderful mystery that a hero could go and learn, but he would no longer be as attached to our world as he once was. And like with the myth of Rip Van Winkle, should you travel to the other world, its temporal flow is different than the flow of this one. Its rules are different. You may come from the other world again. You may find your way home and discover that 1,000 years have passed here while you were gone but a night there. Or that you had experienced 1,000 years there, that when you come back, but a night has transpired. This is what mystery is. This is what the unknown is. Instead of the tonal, the things you have certainty about. I have certainty about where I've been. I have relative certainty about where I'm going, or else why would I be going? That's the tonal. That's everything you know and have been taught, and all your expectations based on that. But you're passing by at every crossing a mystery, a turn you did not make, a road untraveled. And there is where the mysteries lie. And there, at these crossings, are the openings, the transitional points to the other world. A place where you or I, had we the sufficient determination and the conviction that this was so, that it was part of our tonal, that we could go to the other world. That you or I could walk down the street and make a turn away from where we had planned to go, and instead entered the other world and found a fairy circle in which great heroes of old drink wine or mead and talk about their great deeds. A place where magical elven queens spin circles of power and build wells of healing and do things that we can't quite wrap our minds around, which is why they're in the other world and not in our world. They represent the mysteries, the decisions we haven't made, the objects and the items and the ideas we cannot quite quantify. Whereas this can be easily quantified. Look, we have our own recollections to compare against our expectation. And here's an expectation that we will compare against our recollection when we get there, our recollection. So that is the concept of both what we know and what we don't know, and our world and the other world. And that's how you get to the other world, at a crossing. And Janus was looking back where he knew things were and up to where he expected things to be. He was not looking at the mysteries. He missed the point. The Romans missed the point. That life is all about the wonders. And maybe for you anal people, it's quantifying those wonders and saying, oh, well, that is exactly 14 ergs, so that's 150 newtons. Cool. Every time you do that, you take some of the mystery, some of the magic out of those places we don't know. That's the process of science. Religion extends the mystery. Science levels the forest of the unknown and leaves behind the desert of certainty. There is your concept of our world and your concept of the other world. The places we have certainty about and the places we do not have certainty about, that we have uncertainty about. And a sufficiently dedicated, motivated, serendipitously impelled person can cross between our world and the other world and find wondrous mysteries, because that's where the mysteries still reside. And of course, if you come back, and some do and some don't in the old stories, you have tales to bring that you can tell that nobody's going to believe you. That's the idea of what a mystery is that it's personal. Because how can 8 people that don't know each other conceive of the same mystery? They can't. They can say, ooh, something's over the next hill. Something's down at the end of this river. I don't know what it is. So maybe I think it's a giant. Some other guy thinks it's the cow that jumped over the moon. She's nursing a broken leg. We have no way of comparing those things because they are the things we, by definition, don't know. And a person who experiences them is inarticulate to describe them to us in such a way that we do understand them with certainty. They will remain uncertain forever. And that's the concept of the other world. That's the concept of the God of crossings, so to speak. And it has parallels all through mythology, of course. The idea that a person with a mortal born, with greater than mortal power, a Gibor, a Taoist master, these people who have, by whatever means, achieved greater than mortal power, freely cross between the mysteries that we don't know and the certainties that we do know. And when they try to explain their stories to us, they're these wondrous myths that don't quite mean anything. They're just wonderful. And then he grabbed his whip and he pulled down the moon. That poor cow is still out there somewhere nursing a broken leg. That's physics. So that's me today, talking about mysteries and how you quantify them, and how you quantify what we know as opposed to what we don't know, and what the other world might be or is. But you'd have to go there yourself, and if you come back, no one's going to understand what you're trying to say. It's as if you are speaking in tongues because you have learned things that no one else knows. If you're a Scot, you have the concept of the high road and the low road. And the high road is the road that's taken by all life. And the low road is the road of mystery. It is taken by the ghost after death. And after death, every Scotsman's ghost goes first to Scotland, a last time, and then on to his ultimate destination. Wild Bill, 14th of June, 2025. You'll take the high road and I'll take the low road and I'll be in Scotland for you.